What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I hope you can see me. Sorry about that. A little late. There was a bunch of wild turkeys walking through the backyard, and our back of our living room is all glass, and the dogs were absolutely freaking out. I don't know if that's the first time they've seen them back there, but it's the first time I've been home when they seen them back there, and they freaking flipped out. But anyways, hope everyone had an awesome weekend. We're going to take a look at what's going on. Looks like Bitcoin is trying to attempt to break that golden pocket zone. We'll talk about where that's at. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the markets. The Dow futures are up as of right now, 240 points. S&P futures up a little over 7 points. Nasdaq down 36. Now remember, a lot of times, Mondays and Wednesdays, usually I'm noticing it does it the most, where a market reverses right around 10 o'clock. So obviously we'll be live during that, so we keep a close eye on that. We're going to take a look at my trades, where they're at. I did add some more shorts, believe it or not, but I'm really thinking that golden pocket zone is going to hold. We may get a wick above, but I don't believe we're going to break it. And really break it. I know a lot of people are calling for 100,000, which is a possibility, right? I don't think that's going to happen. If all traders thought alike, the markets would never move, right? So anyways, let's get into it. Let's see what's going on. So this is my theory that I believe we are at a 100-year cycle. This is the Dow Jones Great Depression on the right. Dow Jones right now on the left. Could it happen? I do believe so. These are a little more drawn out. So this downfall, I've been saying, could take 2 to 3 years, but it actually could take more like 4 to 6 years if it plays out the same as this. But we'll see. We'll watch. We'll keep an eye on it. As you guys know, our major resistance for the Dow is right here at 40,600-ish. This can move over just a bit now. But that should be our major resistance area for the Dow. And then the S&P, we're sitting right at our resistance right now. Let me see. Yes, so we're sitting at our resistance right now for the S&P. Again, we'll see how all this closes in the daily, but Nasdaq right here, we are getting rejected on this 0.5 fib. There is a possibility we come up to the golden pocket with the Nasdaq too. That would also retest the bottom of this rising channel that we fell out of. So keep an eye out for that. The trades as of currently, we're still right around where we were last week at 52,000. I did add another short. You can see up at the top here. Once we wicked past this wick here, put in another short there. I put in a couple more over the weekend down here, but like I said, we are still right where we were last week at 52,000 profit. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, where we're at. I did enter another trade. First, Prime XBT. I think we're still going to continue that 100% deposit bonus. I'll know today, but either way, make sure you got an account set up. I will be doing my $200 Prime XBT giveaway, so you can sign up using my link down below. Also, there's a tutorial there, a quick tutorial on how to use Prime XBT and how I like to use Prime XBT. And then you also, if you're interested in trading BITUNIX, there's also bonuses on BITUNIX. You can sign up using my link down below. There's also a tutorial for that. I did enter a small trade in BITUNIX. I'm going to use this more for day trading to kind of show you guys in the smaller time frames what I do. So this trade right here, we traded just under a half a Bitcoin. I think there was, I want to say $700 or $800 in this account when I hit the trade. I'm not 100% sure, but we're up 470, and literally that's been in for about an hour. What I am going to do right now is move my stop loss down into break even. So no matter what, we're not going to lose any money on that trade. It's actually in a little profit, like a couple bucks profit. So, but as of right now, we don't have to worry about losing any money on this trade. My take profit on this is at 89.4. It'll be a $2,700 profit. We'll see what happens with it, but this is where I'm at right now. No matter what, this trade is already safe. Stops are in profit. Like I said, it wasn't a very big trade. It was just under a half a Bitcoin. But yeah, anyways, let's see what's going on here in the 4 hours. So in the 4 hour, this is what I was watching over the weekend, this rising channel here. We had a wick down below, but got back in the channel, but we're coming back out. So it does seem like it was just a big fake out. What we could be seeing here is I'm going to move these trend lines right here, right? What you want to watch for here now, either this could end up being a rising broadening wedge and we go up to one more high, right? Blow through, wick through the golden pocket zone. But this is the golden pocket zone I'm watching, guys. This is pretty huge. Last week, if you were watching, we were talking, I was telling you guys about this trend line right here on the 4 hour RSI, and if it broke, we had that fake out, got a wick above, but right now we're getting back below it again. So we open and close a candle below this, guys. That's going to be a pretty big drop there, possibly. And what would it be if it's not the rising broadening wedge? What I'm looking at is a left shoulder head, and this being a right shoulder if it does play out like that. And what do you do for that? You take a measured move. You go from the top of the head right here straight down. You have to be straight down to the neckline, and then you bring that over, and depending on where it breaks, so this is the 4 hour chart. So if it was to break sometime today, which I kind of doubt, but it's possible if something big happens, right? Or some big post happens. But our target for that's going to be somewhere around 89.6, 89.7-ish. Remember, we have that big support / resistance right here. It's, well, resistance, now support right here about 89,000. So that's what I'd be watching. We also have this one here at 91.1, which isn't as significant if you ask me. This 89,000 is the real significant one that we'll be keeping an eye on. There's actually, let's look at the high volume nodes and see if they've changed much. Yeah, so now our high volume nodes are around 88, whereas it used to be up here at about 89.1. So that has dropped. Our major resistance is up here at 96.1. So those are the areas you want to keep track of. But as of right now, like I said, we could be looking at a head and shoulders here, or as I stated, let me put this back on there. This could end up being a rising broadening wedge, getting us a wick above our golden pocket zone. And what is the golden pocket zone I keep talking about? That's your 0.65 point. It's actually 0.618 is the main golden pocket zone, but it's between 0.618 and 0.65. Bitcoin especially likes to retrace there before its continuation to the downside. And that's right here where you see these two green or yellow lines. Not sure which color they are. As most of you guys know that have been watching the channel, I am colorblind. So make sure you guys smash the likes. We only got 22 likes and 73 viewers. I appreciate if you guys smash the likes. We need to get to 100 likes, and then I give out the $200 Prime XBT code that you can put in. The first one to use it gets free $200. You only have to make a deposit in the account, but you can get free $200 to trade, and if you keep whatever you trade or whatever you win off your trades. But let's keep a close eye on this today, this 4 hours. So what do we got? We got 2 hours before this 4 hour closes. So it's going to be something to watch. Remember, yesterday's 2 hour or 4 hour closed below, but then jumped back up. So wait for an open and close with the RSI right here. And then, of course, it'll probably come down into this area, maybe come back up for a bounce. But either way, that's what we're looking at. Let's check this trade. We're up 650 on this trade now. I may move the stops down to some more profit here, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it, whoops, what the heck? I don't want to do that. We got to move our stops down. Why won't it let me move my stops? Okay, I guess I'll worry about that later. What's this? What am I doing here? I don't know what just happened. It won't let me move my stops, though. Maybe if I reset here. Oh, well, either or, my stops are at $10 profit, and my take profit is at 27.5 if we make it down there, which it's looking like we could. Where are we at on this trade? We're up 54,000 on our Prime XBT trade. This is more of a long-term swing trade we've been in for a long time. This is the same account we started about 6 weeks ago with $7,000. We've already taken out 20. There's 54,000 still left in profit here. And I plan on it going higher. So still not understanding what's going on with this stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna move my stops to let's put it right about here where we're above all the EMAs at about 95,142. That gives us a $96 profit if we get stopped out, but still looking for that 89.4 for about 2,700 profit. Anyways, we only have 66 viewers, 30 likes. Guys, we need 100 likes. Can you do it? Get 100 likes, and then we give you the $200 code. I will post it in the chat right here. Let's see who's in here. What's up, Blocky? Looks like he might have left. Good morning, Tommy, Pomeray, Ben Graham, Bear and the Boss Lady. What's up? Dean, good morning. Duke, cheers. Jay, Ethereum's looking strong. Let's take a look at Ethereum. And let's see, where the hell is Ethereum? Here we go. It's not looking strong there, brother. I don't know what makes you think Ethereum looks strong. It actually looks pretty weak here. We're showing a lot of bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence, actually. If you can go from all the way back here, right? Put a trend line down there. Bring that same trend line from way over here, and you're getting some hidden bearish divergence. This just looks like more continuation to the downside, with the RSI just resetting higher and higher for more downside. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing here. Who's next? What's up? Thanks for smashing the likes, those that did. I can see some of you took a second out and did that, and if you didn't, please do, or not, whatever. Is anybody else in any trades currently right now? We're gonna keep an eye on this one. So this one's up 700. Remember, even if we get stopped up, we're up about 100 bucks. And this trade was literally just put in like literally an hour ago. Not even, probably about an hour ago. While I was setting up YouTube. Short in Solana since 151. What? Right on. Nice, man. Just closed my short, Nicholas George said. Nice. Hopefully in profit. Ahoy, ahoy, Savvy and Screen Friend. Canada. Either way it goes, looks like Canada is in for a shit show. Yeah, I didn't even know it was today for Canada. Thanks for reminding me. I'll be curious. Best of luck to you. Whatever you may be hoping for. Do you guys have a good choice? Just curious. I don't think anybody has a good choice anywhere anymore, because it's not like a random person works their way up and then you get to vote, right? It's just whoever they pick is going to be the people you vote for. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. I think it's all a setup. The more and more I look into this stuff, and the longer and longer I'm around, the more and more I think it's all kind of crazy. Depends on who you ask, but in my opinion, no. Same way here, man. Same way here. And, I had my hopes up for a while that things were going to be different. Maybe this person will change stuff, but the more and more I see, nothing's really changing. You get a lot of hype and a lot of BS and a lot of this and that, and just keeping people arguing, but nothing really is happening here. They got this judge arrest thing, which I'm sure they'll get off, but all this so-called fraud that they found, and nothing happening to nobody, so therefore they'll never stop doing it. So it's all just a bunch of smoke and mirrors to keep everybody arguing and keep everybody, one-sided, arguing about their side. Whichever side they choose to listen to is the right side for them, and anyone that's looking at the other side is crazy. And it's just, it's sad. It is sad to see where we're at. And if you guys let me know in the chat, do you think that one way or another, right? Like, so say in the US, our president now compared to our president last time, I mean, in all reality, it's like they both get the same amount of hate, right? And really, I don't think anymore that the president really has any power to do jack squat, except what they're told to do and say. Honestly, I used to think that Trump said what he wanted and spoke from the top of his head or whatever, but I really don't. I think they give him the narratives, and it's sad, but that's what I believe. Can't have another liberal term, though. 3 straight liberal, need a change. Yeah. Northwest votes blue. Left wing, right wing, same bird. Pretty much, man. Like I always tell people, they talk about how they act like they hate each other and they're so against the other person, and yet they're together all the time. They go to the same rooms together. They're walking by each other in the hall. They're probably high five. I'm just making the high fives thing up, but they're all friends, man. Where we are not their friends, right? They are not our friends, but they're their friends. Both sides, I believe, are buddies, buddy system, and both sides equals government, and government has control. It's like a game of Monopoly. I posted something on X over the weekend. This is all like one big game of Monopoly. Once one person or one group wins the game, it's time to wipe. Oh, it's time to wipe the board clean and start all over. Damn, I almost broke my mic. Is it still working? All right, it's still working. We have multiple parties here. Also have the NDP, BQ, Green Party, all just BS. Yeah, but they don't have any. They don't have enough money pushing publicity to have them parties have any chance at anything, though, right? Or am I wrong there? Yeah, it's true. Joker's to the left of me, clowns to the right. Here I am in the center with you. Yeah, I'm just, I hoped this time was going to be different. I hoped something was going to be different. I really did. And I started to believe maybe it would. But then when you look at what's happening, it's just the same old shit show. The tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs down, tariffs up, tariff. Now, what's next? That's all. What's next? Regardless, I think the markets are still going to continue to do what they're going to do, which is not good. In India, they pay for the vote. No need of publicity. I believe it. Very savvy for president. Would never happen. I don't think anybody that is firm on their beliefs or value system, anyone with a value system would be able to be president, because they would probably get unalived because they would want to tell the people what's really going on. And I think that's happened before. Yeah, again, all just there to fill their own pockets. Right. So let's take a look at what's going on. Let's take a look at the markets again. Dow Jones still just hovering right here. S&P, same thing, back below its resistance. Nasdaq got rejected right about where we expected it to. But remember, it could still get above there and get to the 18.2. So really nothing big there. We're still up about 500 on this trade. We're still up about 52,000 from these long-term swing trades. There's been a bunch of trades here in and out, but we're up about 52,000 still. Well, actually, we took 20 profit out, so we're up 72,000 on that trade. Again, all just, oh, did I tell you that I'm working with Prime to do the 100% deposit bonus to extend that? A lot of people made a lot of good money off there using it right? You get whatever you deposit up to 10,000, they'll match. I'm going to get that reinstated. I believe it expired Friday, but I believe I'm going to be able to continue that for another month. Also, we're talking about getting a trading competition going, and I would hope that some of you watching would be interested in joining. We're setting up a prize system. I'll let you know what that is as soon as it gets set up. It's probably going to take a little while. It's going to be a more in-depth, real trading competition, right? I'll join in with you guys, and not sure. It'll probably be a week long, so I don't know if, you know, I don't really want to swing trade it, so I might have to day trade it and see how my day trade skills are. I really don't day trade a whole lot, but I'm willing to do it. Name some things down in the chat that you would like to see for prizes. Be realistic. Don't say $1 million prizes and houses and stuff. Be realistic. What kind of prizes would you like to see? Would you like to see like merchandise, watch? What you know? What kind of prizes would you like to see? Cash, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether. Just wondering what you guys like to see. I'm gonna start giving back on the channel too, like whatever the channel makes, the YouTube channel. Maybe giving half of that away every month at, you know, either the 1st or 15th of the month, and just give half away of what the YouTube channel make. That way, giving back to the community. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Tick your notification bells. That does get you notified when I post new videos, and we'll start maybe doing that. Give back to the community. Give back to you guys. Dollar trading competition, $1,000 was split by the top 3. Oh no, it's gonna be more than that. It's gonna be a bigger prize than that. It'll be a decent prize. Like I said, either Bitcoin, cash, or you know, something of that nature. It'll be a good prize. What's up, Alexandra? How the heck are ya? Do I have a private signals group? No, I don't have a private signals group. We have a members group where we talk. I also have a totally free Discord group down below. Jump in there, share your charts, share your ideas. There's a bunch of people in there trading. But be careful with the signal groups. The signal groups will make you lose a shit ton of money. I promise you that. Like I said, nobody knows where the market's going. They can claim to give you good signals, but they don't. Everybody loses all their money when they do that shit. So be careful. Learn to trade. Learn your own, make your own system, you know, learn the basics, and then make a system that works for you. Find a strategy that works for you, because everyone's financial situation is different. Everybody's risk management, well, risk management shouldn't be too much different, but everybody's risk tolerance is way different. Everybody's financial, you know, where they're at in life is different. What they can afford to do is different. The time they can invest is different. So, trading signals, if you want to lose all your money, have at it. Do not put some trust in somebody else to make the calls. If you're doing that, you shouldn't be playing around with trading, because you will lose, I promise you. And if you want to put in the time, put in the blood, sweat, and tears, you're going to lose money learning. But if you put in the time and learn, you will be able to make good ass money for sure. If you put in the time. If you're just trying to hurry up and learn and get rich quick, go somewhere else. Go join a trading signal. You'll lose your money in a couple weeks, be done with it, and that'll be that. But yeah, if you're depending on somebody else to tell you what to do, you shouldn't even be doing it, because they ain't gonna make you any money. I promise you that. Never thought it would be happy for a guy saying bigger will be better. But a bigger price made my day. Right on. Yeah, there'll be some decent prizes. I'll make sure of that. I might even throw my own prize in along with whatever their prize is. Something. We'll see. Crypto Kings, probably top 3 prizes. Something like that. Maybe more. Like I said, I may throw an extra. Like I said, we're kind of working out the details with Prime. We haven't got in too deep with it yet, but we are working on getting something started. And I will keep everybody notified, and I'll keep everybody up to date. So make sure, like I said, your notifications are on, because I'm going to keep everybody up to date here more than anywhere else. That way, yeah. And then while it's going on, we'll do updates daily on our daily update videos. We'll do updates and show who's in the lead, who's where, who's doing what. It'll be pretty fun. Oh, what's up, Blocky? Is Elliott Wave best TA to follow or others? King said. I mean, Elliott Wave's a good tool. To just trade Elliott Wave, absolutely not. Elliott's a good tool to learn and understand, and if you can look for the right setups, like look for the third wave. If you can trade the third wave and Elliott Wave every time, that's would be ideal, right? Listening while I work. All right, brother. Oh, what did you say? So I started losing for myself and learn from my mistake, and not repeating those mistakes helps. Yes. You said you joined a group only to find out they also lose. Yeah, the groups, that shit's just a sham. So any of them groups that are charging to join their groups, you know, monthly fee or lifetime fee for $1,500, just a lot of that stupid stuff. They can't trade, because that's how they make their money, right? If they were good at trading and their trade signals were good, they would just be able to just do that. They wouldn't have to sell their signals, right? Their signals suck, but that's where they make their money, from the people paying to do that, right? So just be careful with that stuff. Elliott Wave help in knowing all possible outcome. Yes, catching 3-wave. Yeah. So Elliott Wave is, like I said, it's a good tool to learn, right? You're not always going to have a clear wave count, but when you can find a clear wave count, it's awesome. You can make a lot of money. And like I said, if you can find where the third wave is, so like say this is just an example. If we're in a third wave or a wave one here, right? So just let's just say this is a wave one. Let's say this was all a big ABC, right? Correction. And now this is wave one of one, which would make sense in a minute. So this could be wave 1, 2. Let me show you. Let's see. So this could be wave 1 right here, wave 2 here. If it doesn't go up past 1, right? This could be 2. It can retrace up to 100% of wave 1 and still be. And then wave 3, and we'll put some fibs on here in a minute. And say this is 5 waves, and then this just be 5 waves of 1, and then we get a 2, a bigger 2, and then a big 3. Yeah. So if this is the case, right? Your stop would be above here. If you're trying to catch this, thinking this might be a third wave, you'd put your stop above 1, because they cannot retrace more than 100% of 1. But again, this may not even be the start. So this could go, you know, up to the 0.65 fib and start there, and then you do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's this being a 1, and then you get a bigger 2, and then you get a bigger 3. Yeah, it sounds confusing if you don't understand it, but Elliott Wave is definitely a good tool, especially if you can catch some clear wave counts, right? Glad you record in and out this morning. Glad you record in and out. I don't know what that means, Jose. Sorry. Let's see. Make the pump stop. Go, Berlin said. We'll see what happens here. This one's jumping back up. It may stop us out up here. If it does, we're $100 up on this one. But no. So this is a 15-minute chart, right? You could look at this as a wave 1, 2, 3. This being wave 4. Wave 4 shouldn't go past 64. or wait a second, it shouldn't go past 95.55 or something. If that's wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth wave should get us down a little bit lower. And let's just take a measurement if that is. So we would take the top of this being, what was I looking at? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Like this, like this. 93.3 or 93.350. This is a 15-minute chart, guys. I'm just looking at where it might possibly could go. Wave 3, minimum target 1.618. If we catch the 3 wave, we can make 6x or even more depending on the risk. Yep. Yeah, the 3 wave is the usually the big move. Now it's not always the longest wave. A lot of people get that wrong. It's often the longest, but it's never the shortest. So it's either the longest or it's at least shorter than wave 1 or wave 5. Wave 1 or wave 5 can both be longer than wave 3. So a lot of people don't understand, and you got a lot of Elliott wave claim to be Elliott waivers out there telling people that it's the longest. It is not always the longest. It's often the longest, never the shortest. And lately, we've been getting a lot of extended fifth waves in all markets. So keep that in mind. BTC. Check axes and mask. All right, let's check these. Let's check these altcoins. All right. So you're saying axes? All right, we're going to check these alts real quick. We're going to go through these altcoins. Make sure you guys smash the likes. Axes right here. Oh, wait. Crypto. Let's go with crypto. I think that was crypto he was asking about. Yes. They're all the same. There's nothing special here. Now, the thing is this. What I do see here, which it can get erased, but if we go off these highs, you got a higher high here, and you have a lower high here. Now, RSI made a lot of room for a lot more downside, so I would definitely be very cautious here, to say the least. Let's the daily. Let's go into the 4 hour. And we'll get these off here in the 4 hour. In the 4 hour shows, we could get another little push up, right? But I don't think it's going to be a large push up. I think it's just going to be extended from this. So let's take this. This. It actually looks like it's going to come down to, I would wait till it got down here and see how it reacted. Most likely you're going to head back down to retest the bottom of this. Now let me clean this up a little bit. Oh, let's see. Nope. This could be, damn it. This is more like I would look. Yeah, I would look for it to come back down to this area and test. And that would probably get your RSI back down. But remember, in the daily, it looks pretty bad. So it could come down here. You could get another bounce up. But I'd look for it to come down to this 232 range, personally. All right, let's take a look at another one. Day trading is not a bag holder. Yeah, I'll look at those here in a second, Nick. Some guy did a review of 8 big YouTuber recommendations for 2022, 23, 24 onwards, and they were all up 100 to 300%, but now down 20% in money and up 70%, up to 70% down if it was in Bitcoin. Makes sense. But honestly, where did he get his data, right? And how how good was his data? Like you don't know where all my money is. They don't know where all my money is. So, you know, you gotta take that with a grain of salt. But I don't know. Maybe I have to check it out. Wave 3, blah blah blah. There was more. Where's the other ones? I know they're mask. Let's look at mask. And if anybody else got any they want to look at, let me know. We'll take a look at that also. All right, mask. This is the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour with this stuff because go off these tops. This looks pretty. Looks pretty close. This is what I'd be watching here. If you break up here and break above, that's what we're going to start looking at the altcoins in the 1 hour, right? Because I know a lot of people are like the smaller time frames. I'm more into the 4 hour and up, but I have noticed a lot of people like these time frames, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Make sure you guys smash the likes if you're in here and you haven't done so yet. But 479, if it's able to break this 376-ish. Otherwise, I look for it to come back down here for a retest all the way back down. We come all the way back down to the lows again. But right now, here's what you're looking for. You're looking for possibly get it back up to this range and get a rejection. If it gets a rejection, I see it coming back down to this lower level. And if this bottom breaks, whatever this thing is, 3E network, am I in the right? Wasn't even looking at the right thing, was I? Mask. This was what you meant for me to look at, right? Mask. Okay, this makes a little more sense. I mean, basically, go off the 1 hour. This thing looks like it was what, just... Man, this thing looks horrible. Never even heard of it. But what I will say is this is showing a possible... I mean, really simple. Let's see. Barely see this here. All right, so this is what you're going to look at. This is your downside target. This is your upside target. I mean, you can play it either way. You can go down into a smaller time frame and try to catch it, but this thing moves weird. Looks glitchy. Looks like it's just all bots buying and selling like at exact levels. So I'd be iffy about it, but the good thing is the bots will do whatever it calls for if these levels are broken. I bet you. I don't want to say I bet you, but none of this is financial advice, of course. But if it's able to break up above here, let me do something first. Let me clone this one. Bring it down to here. Yeah. Guess you could look at it like that. Actually, yeah, it's more like this, guys. More of a channel forming here. So break of that channel. So let's look at this. This is your high if it breaks up here. If it breaks this 106 range, your low is way down here. About 72 cents. So either way, it breaks here. You got a pretty big trade if you wait for a break. If you don't want to wait for a break, you trade whatever in the middle there. All right, what was drift? Drift. Is that a crypto? Drift. Look at drift. Oh, same thing. Same thing. But I would do the same thing. Just watch a parallel channel here. Sometimes everything's just that simple. Just that simple. Here's the areas you want to watch for a break or trade it in the middle. But the actual trade setup becomes or comes when there's a break of one of these trends. And we take a measured move of the length of the whole channel. And if you break to the upside, you're looking at this level. If you break to the downside, you're looking at this level. So another one just waiting for a break, but this already had a touch on the bottom, touch on the top, touch on the bottom. I would expect this one to come tag that top again and watch for the reaction. If it gets rejected, then I'd play that to at least back down to the bottom of the channel. And if that breaks, just let it keep running. Let the winners run. Oh, where's Bitcoin? Just lingering again. This one's still up 330. Let's go back over to the alts. Your target was 3.6. On which one? Let's go to, what was the other pair you wanted to look at? Mavia. Let's look at Mavia. Dang it, I did the same thing. Mavia. See which exchange to look at that on. Maybe. Oh, which exchange? Let's do. Let's look at it here. Another one. And we have another one. Simple trend lines. I wouldn't do anything but watch these simple trend lines on these, man. Comes down to being just that simple as of right now. So what do you do here? If you break down, right? If this breaks down from here, say it breaks at the low right here at 23 cents, you're going to be looking at 10 cents. If it comes back up for another test at the top, could be as high as 39. And if that breaks, you could be as high as 55. But as of right now, you're just waiting for a break. Like everything else, the markets are waiting for something to happen or for them to claim something happened. Coinbase chart is fishy, but look at the Binance one. On which I would say Binance chart is the fishy chart, to be honest, because Binance does fishy shit. Coinbase is a little less fishy because they got the SEC right next door. Drift has good 2 to 3 day daily divergence plus falling wedge. Drift. Let's look at drift. Are there any big stocks anyone are looking at getting into? Drift. You said on the daily? I don't know, man. I don't know about this. You go off these lows, this is the area I'd be watching. Is that a heavy resistance there? Actually. It's hard to tell. mean, you could look at that as a breakout of a wedge or just a dying thing. Because really, this was a break, faked out, came down, and you put another one. This was a break, faked out, came down. I wouldn't consider that a wedge, personally. Let's start it here. Let's see what it looks like. Really? Come on, man. Well, I mean, you could use that one as a wedge, but then this would be just like a ABC, my opinion. But it would be A, B. Yeah, I don't even like that. A. Then we're going up for B, C. No. Ugly. Let's see. Go here. Let's try throwing this on here. No, it doesn't really work. I like the channels to line up, and I like to use the wicks. I know a lot of people use the candles. I think the wicks are way more accurate. But yeah, I mean, you could look at that as a channel and then look for an upside move if it breaks up, a measured move, but it's not a really clean channel either. This chart's just not clean. Probably because Binance has their hands in it. So if it was to break past this 66 cents, I would look for 99. I mean, that's a pretty big jump. Let's see, is there any? There's really no divergence there. It was close, but no divergence. Yeah, that's all I see there. What's going on with India and Pakistan next war? I have no idea with that stuff. India will FPAC fastly and silently. So I don't know what's going on, but it's saying my audio stream's current bitrate is 0, is less than recommended bitrate. YouTube just blows donkey nuts anymore, man. Discord link is expired. It's not expired. It doesn't expire. I don't know what goes on with that. You might want to check and make sure your phone is, because I've replaced it, and then people always say that, but then they end up finding out that you have to have your phone number verified or whatever to keep scammers out. And that's the message you get if you're not verified. So you just got to verify your phone number with Discord, not with my room, with Discord itself. That's a safe thing, because Discord can get spam botted like crazy. And once we did that, a lot less spam bots, because they can get insane. Nope. I have it off. I have it set. I'll look at it right now while I'm on here. It has no expiration. I'm looking at the link right now. No expiration. It's good. Huh, that's weird. Let me put it in this chat once and see if that helps. Get back to it. I don't know why it does that, because it has no expiration, the link itself. Let me get back to an invite. All right, try this one. Try that link. That should, and if it doesn't work, I don't know, something else is wrong. That's a fresh link, but they don't have any expiration on any of my links, so I don't know why it does that, or if YouTube does something to the link. I have no idea, but it's a non-expiring link. Serious question. How should Bitcoin drop back to sub K? If that happens, then it's dead. It's not dead. How is it dead? Go Berlin. How is it dead if it drops back below that? Have you never seen a market? 2008 was a little dinky recession compared to a depression. If a depression happens, gold has dropped more than that. Gold ain't dead. Bitcoin's not going to die if it drops below 10,000. Quit listening to whoever's telling you that. It's insane that people think that. Bitcoin would actually be stable if it went and tested a ground at 9,500, even as low as 3,500. Yeah, I made a new link for that, Nick. I put a new link for that, but both links I can see them on my thing, and they're both active, and they're both non. And I think whatever link I put under my YouTube video in the description, it always does that. I don't know why. YouTube is garbage. Yeah. But yeah, it's different because I created a new one just to put in here. But that's exactly why it was different. All right, what are we looking at now? What do you guys want to look at? Got in the Discord. All right. Look at the Dow Jones monthly 100-year chart megaphone pattern. It looks like we just prevented it in 2008 from already crashing. Let's see. Monthly. Let's zoom out to the monthly here. And honestly, you'll see what I'm looking at once we zoom out to the monthly. Ending fifth wave. Do you see that? It's an ending fifth wave. Diagonal. That's bad. But no, you look at the monthly, and it's the monthly flipped bearish right here on the MACD, right? Big time. Big time. This is the Dow. This is not good. You can see what happened here. You can see what happened here. We have a lot further down to go. A lot further down to go. So be careful. Be careful thinking this was it, right? Be careful with them buy the dippers, because this thing has got a long ways to go, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm holding out. I'm sticking with it. 100-year megaphone pattern. It looks like we just prevented it in 2008 from already crashing. You're talking about this right here, but that's not. Yeah, I don't. No. I really just don't see what you're talking about there. We are at the top of the bubble, just like I showed right here. If you believe in market structure, you can see this structure right here. This is on the weekly. We could move it over to the monthly, and it's going to look the same, right? This is a bubble. This is a huge. We are in a debt bubble, bigger than anybody can even imagine. And when this thing is actually pops, they cannot kick the can down the road forever. It's gonna go, and when it does, it is gonna be fabulous if you're prepared for it. Dow to gold ratio, month Dow gold rational plan 100-year. I just sent you the pictures in an email. Oh, let me see. Let me see what you're talking about. Let me see what you're talking about. Oh, I see what you're saying. The great credit reset. Yeah, the debt bubble. That's what I'm saying, and I think that's what you're saying, right? That bubble. But yeah, it has a long ways down to go. I do believe it has a way long ways. Trying to see. Dow gold ratio. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can pop a. Let's go into poop coins. I don't want to get rid of none of these charts. So, what is this? Dow. Was that / gold? Dow gold ratio. I don't know. Is there an actual ticker to that? Because that's not. I can't see your ticker in there. But I see you have it on TradingView. I just don't see the ticker on there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but I still want to know where you got that. Where you got that gold to DAX gold. Okay, that makes sense. Still not seeing it. Gold. Still not. Won't even let me open that for some reason. Won't let me open these. Very strange. I will have to check that out later, though. Sorry, guys. We got into a little rabbit hole there, but yeah, I just totally see this all coming down in a big way. Let's see where the Dow Jones and everything is compared to. We go back into the daily here. Zoom in a little bit. Are we? And we're still below our resistance on the Dow Jones. Still right at resistance on the S&P, and still rejected at our first resistance. We could still get up to that golden pocket here. Bitcoin trying to pump back up again. Let's see. I'm going to put my trend line here. So I'm going to keep my stops right about there. Let me put my Fibonacci retracement on here to really see where I want my stops. .786 fibs right here. Should I put my stops above that? I should. Now still be in profit. That's what I'm going to do. So we're at $50 profit if we win this, $2,800 profit if we hit our target on this one. Might do a large B wave till or 104K. Savvy. My only worry is Bitcoin has negative funding rate, plus people are shorting it crazy. Yeah, but like I said, I think all that can turn around in 1 second, and that would be if we wick past that 0.786. Because right, so you're reading it like that because of the funding rate, and that a lot of traders probably are, and them are the ones that are. The money takes the most amount of money from the most amount of people, right? So if everybody's thinking that same thing, which it's legit, but where the hell is my Bitcoin chart with the freaking? Yeah, so right here, the funding rate. I gotta get. Let me get a clear chart so you can see this damn thing. Yeah. Right here. From our high. Stupid fucking trading view. From our high to our low. So right here, like I said, watch for a wick above that. Let me get this off there. Wick above that golden pocket zone. Make a wick up there and totally just come crashing down. Or this is a big wave 1. We're working on wave 2, which I think is ended or will end here, but could go up as much as 100%. So yeah, but 101 would be the 0.786 if that's what you're talking about. I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't have to just because of the funding rate, right? And I remember back in 2019 when everybody was talking about the funding rate and it totally wiped everyone out in the same exact way. I think it was 19. It might have been 18. I'll tell you exactly where it was. It was when it ran up to 5,000 and then reversed. Right here. It would have been. Was it? Or no. Right here. Yeah, 2019 it was. And it was when it rushed up to that 14, 15. Same thing. Funding rate was going crazy. Everyone expected this, but only got this. So yeah, I mean, those are all good things to look at. I'm not saying it's not good to look at it at all, but I'm saying that don't depend on it, right? Take it easy, Adam. Yep, I got to go too, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I got a bunch of lawn to mow, and I need to get my yard work finished, caught up, ready, and all that good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for smashing the likes, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day. I'm out.